that you know exactly what you're talking about. So DACA does not the Dream Act, and people keep perceiving that it is. No, I applied for the Dream Act. It's like, that's funny, I can't find your application anywhere. It's like, no, I applied. I have a social security card to prove it. And it's like, oh, you applied for DACA. Let me tell you about the California Dream Act, and we have to walk through that process. And it happens a lot. Moving forward. A couple other things I wanted to make sure, and Professor Grego mentioned a lot of it. They may or may not know about social security numbers. They have it. If now with the DACA they don't know it, that they may or may not be undocumented. They don't know about what Educator status means. The whole college where I work at, we all talk about Educator. Like every Educator student knows that they're an Educator student. Anybody over there in the college? We can agree? Yeah.
People say I'm AB 540, and it's almost like it means I'm undocumented. It doesn't mean that they qualify for AB 540. It's like a way of, like an in-group language or something.
You're saying between students?
Or even with the rest of the staff.
Yeah.
Because I'm not from California, so I came here and people were like, I'm AB 540, and I was like, what?
So it doesn't automatically mean I'm undocumented.
But that's the way that people use it. Like even the rest of the students know.
And not all students. So it becomes like a phenomenon for it. So we have to educate them and make sure that this is something they do know. I loved when the California Dream application came out, because then I could just start calling my students California Dream applicants, and that just sounded so much bigger to me. They may know about the California Dream application or not, and they need somebody that's a trusted source of information. A lot of this information is what Professor Abrego already mentioned. Alright, so I would like to tell you how you can prepare, for those of you that are working at a high school, how you can prepare for this. Because even me that's been working with students in this kind of status, it's really hard. Because how do you just go up to somebody and say like, hey, you have a social? Like, what's that trying to say about you? And I know who I was when I was a student, and I was like, what's she trying to say? Like, I have a little fun in my forehead or what? So it's really hard to bring up that conversation. And when you're talking to some administrators who happen to be Caucasian, they're even a little more like sensitive about bringing that up. So the best thing I can tell you is that bring, as a high school, have financial aid awareness night. And have it where it's for everybody, and have the breakout sessions. We usually encourage a breakout session for financial aid in English, a breakout session for the FAFSA in Spanish, and we encourage a breakout session for the California Dream Act. And then everybody goes where it's appropriate. Of course, some people sat through the financial aid presentation. Did you not apply for them? It's okay, they can go to the next one when we do the California Dream application again. So at least they're becoming more aware. Even when I do financial aid nights, I like my students to be prepared. So I might do an information night where I spend 15 to 20 minutes talking about how to get prepared. And then I like to host my events at a computer lab. Because I really only take 15 to 20 minutes to prepare them, but then let's get down to work, let's get on a computer, and let's get this application in. And then I like to have a lot of volunteers or people working with us. So as computer hookups come on, because everybody has a different level of computer aptitude, that it's just better to have somebody, when they raise their hand, go and answer the question. You also want to have financial aid people there, because then the financial aid questions come up and you want to make sure somebody can answer those sticky, awkward situations. You want to download or print or request this from the California Student Aid Commission. It's a workshop to prepare for the California Dream application. They have these available also for the FAFSA. And I basically give it to the people so that they can do their homework ahead of time. It allows for them to ask these, have some of these awkward conversations at home first. Students don't know that their parents are not actually married. They grew up their whole life thinking they were married. And then this is the first time we ask them, are your parents married? And we actually have to have a real answer. They can't just tell us like, yeah, sure. What's the date they got married? If they got divorced, the date they actually got divorced, separation, all those things. Let's get them ahead of time. Get the real name. I have one student whose parent went by one name their entire whole life, and it turns out their actual legal name was totally something different that they never used. They want to use their full name. Now, the most awkward question that gets asked, especially from students to their mothers, is, what's your actual age, your birthday? We need a year. You won't be amazed how many people cannot get the signature in for the parents because they don't have their mother's actual first year. And they keep mixing that up. And it causes hiccup, it actually delays it for a long time. So you want to encourage these conversations ahead of time before they come into the computer lab so that you can get this done. If all this is done ahead of time, when they sit down on the computer, they can be done in 15 minutes. Most of our students are very computer illiterate, but you know, there are a couple that will take 30 minutes or longer, but if they get their homework done ahead of time, they can do it. The biggest thing is california.dreammap.org is the website that you want to go to when you actually get there. And I keep telling people a big concern, like, oh, when you see the pretty lady, you know you're on the right page. There's 3 tabs. If you're brand new, so those of you that are working with high school students, brand new students, at the other end, this is a renewable application. Every year, it will come out in January. Every year, they have to put it in. And every year, it's due on March 2nd before taxes are due. So every year, they're like, no, I'm waiting for my parents to get the taxes done. I was like, no, just use last year's taxes, and then tell them you will file. And then when you actually file, go back and make corrections. But if I make corrections, they're going to highlight me for verification. Yeah, that's still better than not getting it in and not getting anything at all. Because if they miss that March 2nd deadline, they miss the Cal Grant deadline. And they don't have access to it yet until the next academic year. And then the one in the middle is the parent signature. Once they click on here, it's going to ask them a lot of questions to confirm that they are supposed to be here. They're not somebody who heard about the California Dream application but should really be applying for the FAFSA. So it does a lot of good jobs, and now that they're aware of the DACA and all the issues that it caused, it asks them, do you have a social security number? And they'll say yes, and then I'll take them to the next screen and say, did you get the social security number because you applied for DACA? And they'll say yes, and they'll let them continue on to the California Dream application. Then they'll put in some general information about themselves. There's a section for students, a section for parents, and a signature section. Yes, ma'am?
DACA students will still do the Dream.
I can't hear you.
DACA students still apply for the Dream Act.
Students that apply for DACA still apply for the Dream Act.
Even with their social security.
I would not put the social security number down. They can apply for it, but don't put the social security number. Because it's only going to be theirs for 2 years unless they renew. And I don't know what's going to happen after this renewal process. Next. There's a little timer. I don't know why I did this. Where students get stuck. These are the questions where I can tell you they get stuck. The student citizenship status. Everybody that's applying to the California Dream Act is not a citizen, is not an eligible non-citizen. There's 2 options above it. If they're selecting any of those 2, they're doing the wrong application. They should be doing the FAFSA. The only option they really have is no, I'm not a citizen or eligible non-citizen. This is asking about citizenship status in the U.S. These questions are asking about residency in the state of California. So questions 20, 21, and 22 are all dealing with residency in the state of California. And what state does the student live in? California. Did the student reside in the state before January 1st, 2010? And this is all about establishing residency in California. It does the same thing for the parents. So for some reason, because of these questions, they always stop. They want to ask somebody before they continue. Okay? Wow. So, gender question. This is this one for us on the FAFSA too. Females forget all the time to answer this question. And if you forget to answer this question, we automatically assume you're male and you have to register for selective service. So then the female has to come back to our office and tell us, and an affidavit, yes, I am a female, I do not need to register for selective service. The second thing is that for our FAFSA students, if they hadn't registered already, at the time they're doing the FAFSA, they have an opportunity to click and say, please register me right now. That is not an opportunity that's extended through the California Dream application, so the student needs to do this. Now, they don't need to do it until their 18th birthday. And if they do it before their 18th birthday, it might get kicked back. So you want to tell them that about a month before their 18th birthday, they want to submit this. The way I do it is I go to the website. When you click register, there'll be a link to be able to print out that form, have them fill it out, and send it in. Now, this one does require a social. We can't just send it in. I don't know what happens to the students that don't have a social. I have to ask some of them. But most of the ones that have come back to me did have the office, so they had a social. And what happens in the bottom line, they get a registration letter from the selected service. They bring that in, we put that in our notes, and the student is able to receive financial aid. Yes,
They still have to,
they are required to.
whether or not they have social.
If they would like to receive financial aid, and they were selected for a California Dream, a Pell Grant, if they don't file this, we can't give them the money. One more? Sorry. So this is another question that trips a lot of students up, but basically when they start school next year, they're going to be never attended first year if they're coming straight to high school. If they're coming from, if they're at a college, community college, a lot of my students have been there 3 years and they want to select junior, and I have to keep telling them, sorry, we don't have junior status here. Sophomore is the best you can do. And if they're at a university, it depends on the university's definitions of what each of these levels are. You can file a California Dream Act even after you graduate, and I'll explain why in a minute. This is important, and what I was noticing is it's asking students, when college begins, what will you be working on? What degree are you going to be working on? And a lot of students that are AB 540, even though their ultimate goal was to go for a bachelor's, because they were going to community college, they were selecting certificates or associate's degree. And that's what's triggering them to get a Cal Grant fee. A Cal Grant fee only gets $547 for the entire year. If they tell us on this question they're going for a bachelor's, then they'll be selected for Cal Grant A or for Cal Grant B, which is significantly more money. So if their ultimate goal is to go for a bachelor's, tell them to select it. Now I'm telling the students, hey, this is your opportunity to tell us your ultimate goal. But they're kind of hard-headed sometimes. I'm talking about my students. And they'll keep choosing the associate's degree because they're like, no, I don't want to lie or whatever. So then they'll get the $547, and I can't do anything because I have a strong belief that at the time they're doing the application, the only one that touches their keyboard is them. Because then they don't come back saying, well, I didn't get it because you did something on your computer. So I always let them touch it, let them work with it, and if they didn't get something, it's because they chose the options they chose.
My reader, so students at community college state, their ultimate goal that we want them to study that they're taking a
If the question is, students that are AB 540 that are going to community college, that if they're going to choose an ultimate goal, choose the bachelor's, even though we can't give out bachelor's in community college. I'm getting 10-minute warning and I have a lot to go, so I'm going to go faster. Move this one. They get to choose the colleges they put in. As you can see, I put in long and it gave me all the schools that say long in the title. So they can choose as many as they want. What I tell students is every single of these colleges gets their information. And my personal experience is that San Diego got all my information. Did I ever go to San Diego State? No. San Diego State got hacked. All my information was, they sent me notification that all my information was somehow hacked. And I now don't have control over who has my information. So I tell people, even foster students, put only the ones you're seriously concerned. Otherwise, you don't want all that group of people having your information. Only put the ones that you're seriously concerned. If you don't think you're going to community college and then you end up there, you can always go back and do a correction and add it in. This is where students start getting antsy if they worked, and they can be claimed as an exception on somebody else's taxes. Then if they earn more than $6,000, they are required to file taxes. Now one question is like, but undocumented, do they have to file taxes? Yes. If they want to receive financial aid, they have to file taxes. Yes.
I thought that every year the amount changes when you're required to file taxes. The amount is $6,000 every year.
Well, for the last 5 years, it's been about 6,000. It does change, it goes up.
So the amount changes.
Yeah, it does go up, but you have to look at the IRS website to see what it is. For parents, it's about 10,000 right now. It was 9,000, 10,000. If they don't file, if they didn't work, they just put will not file. I have used a previous year's visuals so I can show this to you, but now the questions don't disappear. But they tweak it all the time. So they have this sometimes where the smart logic is there. If they say will not file, it just all the other questions disappear. But sometimes it doesn't do that. Next. They still want to know how much they earn. So if they earn $500, they still want to see that. And if they're a dislocated worker, and if they don't select one of these government-funded programs that they may have received, or none of the above, they won't let them proceed. There's other things, again, remember this is questions on the FAFSA that got put on the California Dream application. Not everything applies. So they can read through it, see if it applies to them. But these are the three main questions that will keep on going on, which is, do they have anything in their savings? Do they have any investment? Do they have anything in business? Usually the answers are zero. If they don't put at least zero, they won't move forward. Next. These are the tendency questions. Unless you have a child that's, unless you have a student that's over 25, is married or have children, most of them will be dependent. Getting a dependent override is difficult. We don't do it for the most part. So if they put somehow that they are independent, we will challenge it and they will be selected for verification. So if they answer most of these in the way that they are dependent, they will have to provide parents information. Okay? So it tells them that they have to provide parents information. And then this is where they put in the parents information. Now the one thing I will tell you is for parents, especially if they're on the social, and this is true for the FAFSA as well, they should put 000, 00, 00, 00. Put everything else correctly as possible. If parents don't have an email account, they should set up one. But also that if they don't, and they don't want to set up one because they're never going to use it, the student should put in their own. Again, the residency questions for California. Household. Now, I'm Latina. I had my uncles, my grandparents, my cousin, all living in my household. But when this question came up, they want to know who's in my household. Now, literally, there's more than just the five of us. That's my mom and dad, and my brother, my sister, myself. There's my uncle, my cousin, all of it. But who do my parents support 50% of the time or more is just my siblings, my mom, and myself. So I can only put down 5, even though there's 11 people in the household. This is a major question that will interrupt or ask for verification. Now there's legitimate times where the cousin is living in the house, the parents, the student's parents have legal custody, they will have to provide documentation of those kind of things. This is where it gets sticky for the student. The parents are actually in Mexico. They are living here with aunts, uncles, and whatnot. Whose parents do they provide? They provide parents information. So household is who the parents are supporting 50% of the time or more. The other one is how many people are going to college. That's a little easier. Go for it. This is where people think that this is rocket science. Yes.
Oh, sorry, I didn't get that. So if they're looking with their aunts or relatives, the parents are maybe living where do they who do they live with their parents?
If their parents are living somewhere else and they're living with uncle, aunt, whatever, they still have to provide information about their parents. Now think about the traditional college student. Traditional college student went to your high school, they got accepted to Georgetown. Where is the student living? In Georgetown. Where are the parents living? In California. So we still want the information about where parents are supporting 50% of the time or more. Taxes. The main thing from the taxes that we ask for is the adjusted gross income, which is down here. And I'm showing you the general location because it doesn't matter which form you're looking at. The adjusted gross income is going to be right here. The tax they pay is usually in the middle, and it'll say total tax. And we want to know the exemption. These 3 pieces of information go on the application next and provide what we need to calculate the EFT. As soon as they're done with this, and they hit the little checkbox that says that the signature, and then it goes on to check for every possible error there is. They can continue on. I'll give them a confirmation page and I'll issue them a Dream ID. Now the Dream ID for California Student Aid Commission is considered a social, so you want to keep that handy, have it recorded. And yes, please tell them to record it. If they'll forget it and they'll be searching for it and it's really hard to find it for them again. You want them to submit the parent signature. For students that are dependent, if they don't submit a parent signature, it does not generate an EFT. Without the EFT, we cannot The California Student Aid Commission cannot award them to a grant, so you want them to submit it. And for independent students, once they hit submit, they're confirmed, it will generate that USD, right?
Excuse me. If they are parents are living somewhere else, and they have parent signature, what is that? Just their name?
It's electronically, just put it in, it generates, it allows them to generate their own 4-digit number. As soon as they generate it, it allows them to go back in and submit it electronically.
Do you file for a pen or anything like FAFSA?
I can't hear you.
Do you need to do a pen to sign the document like FAFSA?
Do the students need to do a PIN?
Or the parents sign?
The students do not need to do a PIN. As soon as they click on the check mark, it signs it. The parents select a 4-digit number, and then once they enter it, it signs it for them. It's not as complicated as the thought. This is the GPA verification form. Most schools are submitting this electronically, but because the student doesn't have a social or didn't report a social, they're not able to submit it. Print this out from the website, have them submit it. Most schools submit it in late February, so by the end of March is the last day they can challenge it. You can challenge it for 30 days. So the reason I tell you this is because of next spring. And they want to get both the GPA and the California Dream Act done by March 2nd so they can consider for the Pell Grant. And what happens to the Pell Grant after the California Dream Act after they apply? They apply by March 2nd. It goes to the state of California. The state of California then looks at all the colleges and universities and releases all the information to them. Then it goes to each institution. The institution is supposed to let each student know that they received the application if they need to do any of the paperwork. Once they have all the information, they make an offer to the student. The student accepts the offer, and then the student receives the financial aid. Okay? The student can check if they've been awarded a Pell Grant. Oh. She's telling me 2 minutes, you're telling me 5.
Oh, okay.
So, okay. The student can go to webgrantforstudents.org. Here's where they enter they create an account, they go in, they put in the California Dream ID, they answer other information about themselves, they create a username and password that's different from the California Dream Act, and on here, it'll tell them if they turned in the application on time, if the GPA was submitted, and if they've been awarded already, it tells them which award they got and how much. And this has been great, especially if I get this information out to the students ahead of time, because when they come back, it's like, Ericka, I've been awarded, when do I get my money? And then we can work with them from there. And it doesn't matter where they go to, they can go claim their Pell Grant. Next. Okay, so I did want to digest this, and this is the last thing I get to say to you, I'm sorry. I showed you the Pell Grant fee is for vocational students. Most of them get $547 for the academic year. Pell Grant A is for students that do academically well. So you're looking at, for the Pell Grant in general, you're looking at people that are doing 3.0 or better. And if they go to a CSU, they're getting about $5,000. I'm rounding this number. Guess how much tuition is at the CSU? $5,000. When I figured that out last year, I was like, dude, this is just a fee waiver for the CSU. We had the fee waiver for the community college, this is the fee waiver for the CSU. Same thing for the UC. They give them about $12,000. Guess how much tuition is at the UC? About $12,000. Now, if they're low income, they give them an additional $1,648. Since the community college already has a fee waiver, all they get is that $1,648 to buy their books. But at the CSU, they'll give them the $5,000 plus the additional $1,600, and at the UC, $12,000 plus the additional $1,600 to buy their books. Does that make sense? Because all that other complicated stuff that they presented, I never understood it. I had to digest it for myself, and this is the best way I can present it to you. The Pell Grants are used for 2 years at a community college. Even if they're there for 3 or 4 years, they only get 2 years. Any student gets 4 years max. If a community college goes to, if a student goes to a community college and they don't get a Pell Grant at community college, if they pull out a 3.0 in their college work, by the time they transfer, they can get a Pell Grant. They just have to have a 3.0. Yes, sir.
I just want to clarify for Pell Grant B, the first year they only qualify for the 1648, correct? And it's not until the second year that they get the 5,000?
I've been seeing that more and more, because I noticed that they've been accepted at Cal State Long Beach, and they've been only offering them 1,648, so they jump ship and they come over to us. So yes, I think that's true. I don't know why. And I don't know if that's across the board to all students. I I still ask them those questions. I do have information about, and I'll just quickly, go ahead. These are websites that you want to go to. That's the phone number for students. Next one. This is a phone number for you if you have questions. As educators, they will answer your questions a lot quicker, and the wait for that, this number is so much shorter. Instead of waiting 30 minutes, you only wait 5. I did give the presentation to Ideas, who I think does a marvelous job every year. It's all student done. I'm always impressed by the kind of work that they do. And today I'm incredibly grateful because I lost my flash drive as I was taking my daughter out of my car to drop her off at catechism. And halfway here, I couldn't go back anymore. So I was like, hopefully they have internet and they'll help me out. So they did a great job getting this PowerPoint up for you guys. And they do a good job getting the information to you after the fact. I do have some slideshows on the Cal Dream Loan Program, which will be great. That means they'll get about $4,000 they can borrow from the CSUs and UCs. It just became law last month. And $20,000 lifetime limit at UC. So that's a good program. Please check it out. I did include websites on the PowerPoint, so if they make it available to you, please click on them. The last thing I do want to mention is AB540.net. It's done by my colleague at Cal State Long Beach, and it does a really good job of digesting this information. So if you, as an educator, can't find some of this, AB540.net does a good job of doing that.